See their pants blowing in the wind, so it is windy. And there's the handoff and running hard and going forward inside the 10-yard line.
First down, Red Raiders.
And another first down for St. Francis on that carry. Well, they're just blowing them off the line of scrimmage on this drive. First and goal from the 5-yard line for the Red Raiders. And St. Joe's will take a timeout. We'll take a quick timeout. 7-0 St. Francis, 9:54 to go. Second quarter, you're watching high school football on Western New York Athletics.
Western New York Immediate Care's new locations are now open. Whether you've suffered a minor injury or just aren't feeling well, Western New York Immediate Care provides safe, quick, high-quality care at an affordable cost. Our clinicians are trained to diagnose and treat non-life-threatening injuries and illnesses and are equipped with on-site x-ray and labs to help you feel better, faster. With 4 convenient locations open 7 days a week, Western New York Immediate Care is here to help when and where you need us. Visit us online to learn more.
Logistics Plus is a global transportation provider headquartered in Erie, PA with locations worldwide, including right here in Western New York. Logistics Plus is consistently recognized as a fast-growing transportation and logistics company, great supply chain partner, top freight broker, leading project cargo manager, and a great place to work. With a strong passion for excellence, our 500-plus employees put the plus in logistics. Call our Buffalo office today for an efficient, personal approach for all of your transportation needs.
First and goal for the Red Raiders. And there's a handoff to Kidd. He barrels forward, and he's still on his feet. And into the end zone for the touchdown. What a great effort. What a great run. Great effort not only by Kidd, but that offensive line, Tom, just shoving everybody. They just overpowered everybody.
And that push is something we've seen new in the last couple of years where they let that play go. That used to be a dead play, right?
That's what I thought.
But they've allowed that now, and you can see, you could just see guys come in and really just push and get through there. And that's a great testament. When you know your line is that good, that's absolutely a big play that you're going to do.
So now the Red Raiders will try to add the extra point here to make it a 14-0 game. The kick is up and good, but you saw the wind hook the ball. Brady Greenall that time, number 20, kicked the extra point, and it's 14-0 St. Francis with 9:44 to play in the second half. And I think it might be a little fair to say that St. Joe's needs to get something going here before this game really gets out of hand.
Oh, 100%. And we've seen, glimpses of it. There's no doubt we've seen the glimpses to be able to make it happen.
So the Red Raiders will kick off St. Joe's, and they will be kicking into the wind this time. No, it'd be more than fair to say St. Francis really established their ground game on that drive. They just pounded the football and drove it in.
We got the band up right now. Mario Hall got the band, as you can see, for St. Francis. The band's actually out on the track playing right now. Mario Hall doing a great job of getting them right now on camera. Great job by him.
That's the safest place for the band if you remember the Stanford band.
Well, yeah, that'll be ingrained in our memories forever, right?
Yes. Any excuse to bring that up. Not like I need an excuse, but
I'll tell you, boy, this sideline littered right now. Oh, there's the student section right now that Mario Hall's got. As you can see, the St. Francis student section going nuts as they've got their lead cheering on their team right now.
And St. Francis, it's a short, high kickoff. It'll bounce at about the 34. Ball's loose, and St. Francis says they have it. And they do. Very alert play by St. Francis. Not sure what happened to the Marauders there. Somebody didn't fall on the ball. It took a bounce, and suddenly St. Francis was alertly there, and it's 1st and 10 for the Red Raiders. That's
That's the new onside kick that we see here in Western New York. And there are so many teams that are doing it. They find the gap out there, and what teams aren't doing aren't being aggressive enough to go after the ball. If it goes behind them, they're thinking the guy behind them is going to get it, and the guy that's behind is not coming up fast enough to be able to get that ball. And we're seeing it all over Western New York, Stu. That's the new onside kick right there.
Now, 1st and 10 for the Red Raiders. The last drive was entirely on the ground. Tremba Jr. as Reska goes in motion. Tremba back to pass. He's going to throw it. He throws over the middle. Intercepted. Intercepted by Hoskins. Still on his feet. And he's planted by Reska at about the 33-yard line. And there's a late flag. Another flag. And
that's going to be some sort of unsportsmanlike conduct right there.
Yeah, well, a great interception by Hoskins, but that ball had no chance with that wind. Looked like he wanted to throw it deep, but the wind held it up. Hoskins picked it off, and Reska with a great form tackle to put him into the turf. And let's see what the penalty is and which way it goes.
But we saw it on the kickoff, remember, Stu? It hits like a brick wall out there is what it is, and the brick wall is the wind that will eventually just stop that from going as far as it needs to go.
So a personal foul against St. Francis and a personal foul against St. Joe's. So we have offsetting penalties. It'll be 1st and 10 for St. Joe's at about their own 31-yard line. So the penalty's offset. And St. Joe's with a huge play there. They get the first turnover of the game. First turnover not on downs, I should say. Nice tackle by Logan Reska after the Hoskins interception.
And Hoskins, took that back almost, 20 yards is where it is, because he got it right about the 10-yard line, 12-yard line in that area.
Yes. We'll see what Aaron Gents does here with the wind at his back. And he will hand it off, and it's good running room for him. Oh, he spins away from a tackler, Anderson does, and he's into St. Francis territory and dragged down by Kainan Ulanga at about the St. Francis 41-yard line. Nice run there.
Two things I want to point out. First of all, the offensive line for St. Joe's. You see that hole open up that he went through? They open up the hole beautifully. He finds it and then does the second level spin that we saw move there, which gets him at least another 20 yards right there. But Dean Anderson really showing why he is a top running back right now, and a running back that is being talked about all throughout Western New York.
So 1st and 10 for Marauders. That's their biggest offensive play of the game so far. And they'll hand it off to Anderson again. And he tries to get out of there, but that time St. Francis said, nope, that's not going to happen. And it'll be 2nd down. Maybe a loss of 2 yards. Yes, a 2-yard loss on the play. 2nd and 12 now from the 43-yard line of St. Francis for St. Joe's. Funny how last week I thought you and I were done with the wind. We were at Kenmore West.
Listen, we're going into winter. We ain't never done with the wind here in Western New York, especially here in St. Francis along the water.
Yeah, this really is the windy city. Chicago has nothing on Buffalo. And here's Gents back to pass. He's in trouble, and down he goes. Terrence Pendergrass, the first man there, and it'll bring up 3rd and a very long for St. Joe's. He's back on the St. Joe's side of midfield. I think that's at the St. Joe's 49 or 48-yard line. Oh, they're going to spot it right at the 50. Still a big loss. It'll be 3rd and long.
You're forcing them to go to the air right now is what you're doing. But listen, you've got the win. It's not like we haven't seen throughout Western New York these getting converted all the time. I wouldn't even be surprised to see if we see some sort of screen right here.
I was just going to say that. That's another way to get the ball into Anderson's hands. The snap bounces. Gents picks it up, and he throws, and it's incomplete. Intended for Robert Ansbach III, broken up nicely. And Ryan Lawrence on the pass defense, and that'll bring up 4th down. 4th and 19 for the Marauders.
You know, I know this is one of those areas, but I like the idea of punting right here, Stu, because what you're going to try, you're going to have the wind right here. So you could actually not give St. Francis maybe the worst field position they've had all day because their field position has been top-notch all day.
And it's a high punt, good punt, and unfortunately for St. Joe's, it'll bounce into and through the end zone for a touchback. So it'll be 1st and 10 for St. Francis at their own 20-yard line.
Red Raiders from their own 20.
You know, Tom, that drive got off to such a great start with the Anderson run. It just stalled.
There's been a couple of times. We've seen him absolutely have some highlight plays already. It's just been a play, and then you see the St. Francis defense step up usually every time after those plays.
So 1st and 10 for the Red Raiders. They've been mostly on the ground here in the second quarter, going into that stiff breeze with the exception of the pass that was intercepted by Hoskins for St. Joe's. So 1st and 10 for the Red Raiders. You know, Tremba goes under center, and he will hand it off to Kidd. And Kidd, good hard running there, somehow turned that into a 3 or 4 yard gain. So it'll bring up 2nd down.
Boy, there's not many teams that have running backs like Kidd. But then when you add Pendergrass into the mix too, right? You've got two guys that can just run the ball unbelievably. It's what we see with Bennett, right? When Bennett can throw 5 different running backs at you, right? These are 2 top running backs that you see get thrown at you.
And there's look at the hard run there. What a great run by Kidd, and he's awfully close to. I think he's got the 1st down. That's just a great run. He's literally like rolling over tacklers.
Just a strong running back, right? He runs much bigger than what he is, right? You would think he's one of those running backs that's like, you know what I mean, that's 6 foot, 220 pounds just coming at you. That's how he runs, and that's how physical of a running back he is.
Well, unfortunately, we have an injured player on the field. I believe it's a St. Joe's player. 6:57 to go in the first half. St. Francis leading St. Joe's, and you are watching high school football on Western New York Athletics.
Sometimes it just isn't your day. We all need a little help from time to time. That's why we're committed to providing safe, quick, and cost-effective care. And we keep it simple. Just walk in. We're here for you. Learn more today.
Do you insure a lot of businesses?
Yes, we do.
How about restaurants?
We got a bunch.
Do you cover property damage?
Yes, we do.
How about my equipment?
Covered.
How about sewer backup?
We got it.
What if my cook gets hurt?
They're covered.
Foodborne illnesses?
Covered.
What if my party tent goes down?
Covered under property damage.
And you say this is all under one policy?
One policy.
When do I pay?
Once a month.
Just one time?
Just one.
Is there anything you don't cover?
What's your record for consecutive questions asked?
31.
Tables. We don't do tables.
Gotta love Buffalo.
For all your insurance questions, call the Wolf at 835-WOLF.
We realize now more than ever is the perfect time to have the perfect house. We're confident we'll find your dream home. Howard Hanna. Home happens here.
Killian Vargas was the injured St. Joe's player. He was fortunately able to walk off under his own power. They'll hand it off to Kidd one more time, and what another great run. It was Pendergrass, excuse me. That's another great run. And another St. Francis 1st down. Well, you're right about the 1-2 punch at running back. They're just flat out good.
It really is, and it really is tough because they're just both such great quality running backs, right? It's like you're giving one a rest to come out and to be that good when he comes out the next time. Like I said, that's why I personally have got Bennett and St. Francis, the 2 top teams in Western New York. Look at the running backs, look at the skilled players, look at the line.
And there's another great run to the near side. Still on his feet is Pendergrass. He's still going. He's all the way down inside the St. Joe's 30-yard line. What a run. Another St. Francis 1st down. They're just overpowering St. Joe's, and they have the running backs to do it.
Yep. And again, I always want to say is the running back is only as good as their line, right? And that's what we talked about coming into this game. This line is just that good right here for St. Francis.
1st and 10 for the Red Raiders. And they'll hand it off to Kidd one more time, and that time he's swarmed by a whole bunch of St. Joe's defenders. And the St. Joe says they have the ball. I don't see any officials making that indication. I didn't see the ball come out. I think St. Joe's just trying to get a call there. Isaac Gwitt had pointed toward the St. Joe's side of the field.
But it was Christian Perry on the tackle on that one. He was the first one in, number 10 on the tackle. Great job right there to get, you know what I mean, at least have, looked like it was going to be a loss, but actually a no-gain play.
And there's a handoff and barreling forward for about 4 or 5 yards one more time. As a Kidd. So the Kidd and Pendergast piling up some impressive statistics on the ground. Third down now. Under 5 minutes to play in the half. Tremba out of the shotgun snap. Pendergrass is behind him. And it looked like a broken play, and Otremba will run with it. He'll go forward. And he may be close to another first down. Well, maybe it wasn't a broken play, but it looked like
he went to handoff, yes. But hey, what a great job by your veteran quarterback to realize, right? It's not there. Let me take it from there, take it myself, and get the first down for my team. That is a captain. That is a leader right out there on the field doing his job as a senior.
And Otremba gets the first down. So it's another first down for St. Francis. There's the handoff to Pendergrass, and he will go forward, and he's close to the 10-yard line. Well, St. Francis shuffling a lot of personnel in and out of this game.
Give Coach Smith credit, right? I mean, he will coach this team from top to bottom, right? Everybody on that sideline better be ready to come into a game. They really do.
That's true. Second down now for the Red Raiders. Utremba hands it off to Kidd, who's coming to the near side. He's got some running room, and he's into the end zone for the touchdown. Ricardo Kidd. And St. Francis takes a 20-0 lead. He came to the near side, turned the corner, went upfield, and into the end zone for 6.
It looked like he was going to be stopped on 3 different occasions on that one. And he does that. Look at all those purple jackets that you saw down there. That's your Conley Cup members right there, as you see Ricardo Kidd making his statement as to why he should be one of the finalists this week for a Conley Cup nomination.
You know what I thought was really cool about that run? His vision, and he's got a little bit of a giddy up and an extra step whenever he needs it. And that was a really nice run. And the snap is low, picked up by Pendergrass, and he is going to run toward the end zone. And he got in. What a great play by Steve Otremba Jr., the quarterback. The snap, couldn't quite handle the snap, picked up the ball and ran it in for 2. So it is 22-0, St. Francis. There's a flag on that play, and the officials are talking about it as the band plays. And let's see what the flag is. See if, from where the teams are positioned, looks like it's going to be assessed on the kickoff. They're not calling the teams back to repeat that. Let's see. It's a personal foul, and it's going against St. Francis, but it was after the extra point, so the extra point stands.
Personal foul, Red Raiders.
And see where they kick it off from. They're going to kick it off from their own 25-yard line.
but 2 plays almost, back to back. It was actually, the run for Kidd in between there. But Otremba instinctively, right, comes up with plays right there to make things happen. Bad snap, he takes it, runs it in for the 2-point conversion. But before that, we saw him get the first down. Remember what we saw? It looked like wasn't a good handoff, came back, and then absolutely takes it for that first down. Give Otremba Jr. credit on both those plays because he's the one who had to make that happen.
And I don't want to impugn the center. Don't know if it was necessarily a bad snap or he.
But
just
it looked like it was off. So I mean, either way, it wasn't the perfect snap. I get it, but
it was a great play by Otremba.
That's when you go. You know what? Your quarterback comes up to your center, goes, "Don't worry, buddy, I got you." Yeah. Right, and that's exactly what he does on that play.
So St. Francis kicking off into the win from their own 25. It's a very, very short kick, and the ball is loose. St. Francis will fall on it, I think. Are they going to get the ball again, Tom?
Yep.
And they came out of there with the football. I'm not exactly sure how that happened, but the kick was high and short, and it's a free ball on those kickoffs. And
it went 10 yards. I mean, it had to go to the 35-yard line. Look at where they're sitting. But that sucker stuck in the air again, right? We saw the wind take it, and then you saw a batted player come and bat the ball from St. Francis, and there it was, open season then to be able to get the ball after that.
That's a very alert and great play by the Red Raiders as the officials are having a conference at about the 39-yard line.
But, I mean, they kicked it from the 25. Yeah. They're past the 35. I don't know what you're talking about here.
Yeah, I don't either. I mean,
because I thought it was touched after the 10 yards.
Yeah, well, this will be a very interesting call. St. Francis already up 22-0 with just 3:18 to play here in the half. And the last thing St. Joe's wants is to see St. Francis get another possession as the Red Raiders are piling up yards on the ground. And you can see, if you look at the officials' pants, that's the stiff breeze they're dealing with. And now Paul Gagliardi goes over to explain whatever's going on to Mike Corona, the St. Joe's head coach. That would be a really interesting discussion I'd like to be in.
Yeah, I mean, because the question to me has got to be whether it went 10 yards. That's the only thing you could be disputing here. There's no flags on the field, so it obviously wasn't a flag that was thrown. But that's the question here. And to me, where they're standing, you can see you obviously went past 10 yards.
Yeah.
Because the ball, when it was batted, went backwards,
yes,
right? So,
yes.
I mean, is it went the 10 yards that we're talking about, but that has to be right now the discussion that's out there.
And now it looks like Coach Smith getting an explanation from one of the officials.
And we got Mario Hall right there trying to get that out there. As you can see, he's kind of right on the official right there. Mario Hall, incredible camera work. He really is the man out there on the field.
Well, Paul Gagliardi is still on the far side on the St. Joe's sideline. And it looks like Coach Corona is no longer part of that. Well, I guess he is still
He's
talking.
got other guys down on the other side.
Yeah. So now the officials, Coach Corona can't be happy. Let's see which way this goes. Did they give St. Joe's the ball? Looks like they're giving St. Joe's the ball, Tom. I'm trying to see. That looks... St. Joe's got the football after all that. But I'm not sure how... Well, that's a huge break for St. Joe's. Not sure how that happened, Tom. And let's see where they're going to... And maybe there was a penalty. They're moving the ball all the way down to the St. Francis 25-yard line.
Are they re-kicking it?
Doesn't look like it from where the teams are on the field. As we hear from Leather Lungs again.
Sorry. Well, we have to keep the window open because we got actually a camera when we do the halftime show that we've got to kind of clip it into there for us. So we've got somebody we can hear clear as day, and that's who Stu's talking about right there.
So it's 1st and 10, St. Joe's. And they're at about the 24-yard line. Here's Jentz back to pass. He's got time and incomplete. Great defensive play there by Kainan Ulanga to break up that pass. 2nd down and 10.
Thrown or pass incomplete. Number 7, Kainan Ulanga with the pass.
Great defense right there. You can see he got his hand right in there. And this is the time. If you're St. Joe's right now, this is the time to put points up on the board, right? Wind right now at your back. Still more than enough time to do something. You've got to make something on this play and put points up on the board.
So 2nd and 10 for the Marauders. They're at the St. Francis 25-yard line. And then they hand it off to Anderson, who tries to turn the corner on the far side. And he's knocked out of bounds. A late flag comes at the end of that play. I'm still trying to figure out, how did St. Joe's get the ball at the 25-yard line?
No, but you know what? We're gonna try. We've got obviously Francis Beck down on the field, and we're gonna see if we can get him to give us some sort of explanation on that.
It's a personal foul against St. Francis. That will help St. Joe's. It will give them a 1st down. This has not been a good series for St. Francis. It's an unusual series, put it that way. They're down at about the 10-yard line. So it's a 1st down for St. Joe's. Looks like they're just shy of the 10-yard line, so they can get a 1st down. Huge series here for St. Joe's. They'll hand it off to Anderson. He's going to come to the near side, and somebody caught him just before he was able to turn it upfield. A great tackle there.
Anderson with the carry.
Shane Geiser, number 11, with a great play there to prevent Anderson, because if Geiser doesn't get him, I think he's into the end zone.
Gain of 2.
2-yard gain. 2nd down. 2:35 and counting in the half. St. Joe's looking to get their first points of the day. Lentz. And he's in trouble, and down he goes. The ball came out. St. Francis fell on it. And let's see. St. Francis has it. Great defensive play by St. Francis. Robert Kendall Jr. making the play for St. Francis, and unfortunately for St. Joe's, it's a turnover, and the Red Raiders get the ball back. Great defensive effort by St. Francis. And, you know, on that drive, Tom, things were going against St. Francis. First, they have this kickoff. It looks like they get the ball back. The officials say it's St. Joe's ball. And then they get a personal foul penalty, and it's first down, 2nd and short inside the 10, and instead they force a fumble. That's great defense. 1st and 10 for St. Francis, and we get a timeout on the field. Let's see. And I didn't see. It's a timeout taken by St. Joe's. I would imagine Coach Corona just wants to settle his guys down a little bit, and that can be a devastating turnaround.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I agree with you. I think you are trying to settle things down. You know, it's not like we haven't seen St. Joe's move the ball. They've been able to move the ball, and Anderson has just been phenomenal today. He really has. But it just shows when you talk about, especially a line that's out there, and they can absolutely take control of a game offensively and defensively. And you're really seeing it happen right here with St. Francis. They really have. When you can see penetration and knock something through, you know what I mean? When they get through that line and you not see one guy, you're seeing 3 guys do it. You can't stop 3 guys once they get through that line. It's too difficult right there. And that's really the strength of this St. Francis team. It's that line on both sides of the ball, and it just shows how strong they are. And having a line like that makes a true difference in Western New York high school football, or high school football clear as day. It really makes a difference.
And then we add to that, you got Pendergrass and Kids as 2 outstanding running backs.
And if they're going to open up a hole and you give a hole to either of those two, forget about it.
And there's a handoff. There's a flag, so that's in the area of holding. So we'll see what happens here. Pendergrass had the carry, and it's that was holding against St. Francis, so the Red Raiders will back up. It'll still be first down, but they will back up. Yeah. And the ball will go all the way back to, looks like the nose of the football's on the 10-yard line. As we're coming down to the final 2 minutes of the first half. Second and long for St. Francis. They got to get out to the 31-yard line for a first down. So it's 1st and 20. They hand it off to Pendergrass, and not much room to run there, so it'll bring up 2nd down. And St. Francis will be very content to keep the clock moving.
Yeah, the last thing you want to do right now is to give St. Joe's the ball back with the wind at their back to do anything. So I agree right now. What you're trying to do is just run the ball and keep that clock, and you're going to see is they're going to use every bit of the clock right there to help them to be able to try to use up the time so that St. Joe's doesn't have the time to do anything.
And there's the handoff to Pendergrass, and that's another good run to the far side. He moved a number of defenders with him. It'll be 3rd down for the Red Raiders.
And that was truly on him, as you saw him carry some guys on that one. That's a true Pendergrass run where he earned every bit of that one right there.
And now Kidd comes in, and Pendergrass comes to the sideline. We're in the final minute of the first half. St. Francis 22-0. With a 22-0 lead. Windy day at St. Francis. Those waves on Lake Erie behind us are high. Under 40 seconds to play in the half. Tremba Jr. takes the snap, hands it off to Kidd, and Kidd bursts through there. He's a little short. Oh, excuse me, that was Kidd, and he's short of the first down. With 25 seconds left, the clock is stopped. I believe did St. Joe's call a timeout there? If they did, that would make sense if they did. I didn't see a signal for who might have called that timeout.
So I'm trying to get some updates from the sidelines. They're calling that illegal touching.
On the kickoff?
Yeah, but the only way it can be an illegal touch is saying because he touched the ball in the air. And I said, but he's allowed to unless he touched the ball in the air before the 10 yards. That's the only way, right? That's the part that I'm trying to get justified here a little bit, is to say is on a punt you can't, because once you touch it on a punt, dead ball, right? But not on a kickoff right there. So that's not where it doesn't make sense. And we're trying to get a justification of it right now.
So it's 4th down for St. Francis. And it looks like they're going to run a play here. Only 25 seconds to go in the half. And they will, and coming to the near side, trying to get through some space, and brought down for a loss, and it'll be 4th down. No, they'll turn it over on downs. The Marauders will take over.
Red Raiders turn the ball over on downs.
Unusual call there. Maybe they wanted to burn more clock and were unable to do it.
Well, obviously they know kicking into this wind is going to be very difficult, right? So they may have thought that they were going to give them good field position no matter what. So why don't we do some sort of trick play right here to try to get that first down to make happen versus kicking in the wind and giving them phenomenal field position anyway.
Yeah, we've seen what happens when you kick it into the wind.
But teams like that will go for things like this when you believe your defense, right, can step up and make the stop. And that's exactly what you're seeing right now.
1st and 10, St. Joe's, 16 seconds to play in the half. Aaron Lentz drops back to pass. He throws, intercepted by Logan Reska at the 1-yard line. He's still got it, and he's finally tackled at about the 25-yard line. With 6 seconds to go in the half, St. Francis gets the ball back, and that looks like E. Lawrence Ryan perhaps coming off the field for St. Francis. He kind of collided with Reska after the interception, and it's 1st and 10 St. Francis with just 6 seconds to play in the half.
Exactly what we said, right? You believe your defense, right? Yeah. And what do? Right? They do exactly what they needed to do, come up with a big stop right there. And they really just defensively have shown exactly why right now they're the favorite inside the Monsignor Martin Conference.
Looks like there's a penalty on the play as. It's against St. Francis. It's roughing the passer, and it's a first down for St. Joe's. So the Marauders will get one more chance. Unfortunately for St. Francis, it wipes out the Logan Reska interception.
Wow.
Ooh.
That's a big penalty right there. And then, so you're going to probably say that's the one thing that you're going to see, Coach Smith probably just talk about right there, because it's going to end on that penalty type thing, is let's just make sure that we clean up any of those flags.
Gents. Rolls to the right. He throws and incomplete. And there's 1 second left on the clock. Threw it to the right crowd. Now the clock hits 0, so we'll see. And that was an incomplete pass.
No, I think they're putting it. I see one finger up there.
Yeah,
I think they're going to put.
Yeah, you're right.
I think they're going to put a second back on the clock. Yep, see him?
Yep.
He's holding one finger
I saw
up.
it.
They're going to do the 1 second.
Yep, so St. Joe's will get another crack at it. Looked like Gents was being chased by Dazim Dixon, big number 54.
Yeah, he was too. And for a big guy, he's got some wheels. Did you see him going after him still?
Yes, I did. I was like, well, he might get there. So here we go. Second down. This should be the last play of the half. And here's Gents rolling to the right. Still got it. He throws toward the end zone, incomplete, and that will bring the first half to a close. It's 22-0 St. Francis. The Red Raiders dominated this one. A couple of unusual calls happening there in the final minutes of the first half, starting with that kickoff. And I think we're going to try to get.
Yeah, then we're going to go to Coach Smith first is who they're going to go to. Francis Beck trying to get Coach Smith right now. And right when they get him, and they're about to get him here in 1 second, we'll kick that right down to Francis.
All right, let's go down to Francis Beck and head coach Jerry Smith.
All right, I'm with Coach Jerry Smith, St. Francis Red Raiders. You guys are up 22-0. You got a lot of bounces. The way you ended probably didn't want to. What do you take away from that first half?
Well, we got to sharpen up, making mistakes all over the place, and that's not indicative of how we play football around here. Our kids are letting things that are going on the field get to them a little bit, and we have a higher standard in that, and they have to straighten ourselves out.
Ricardo Kidd having a great game running the ball. What do you make of his performance right now?
He always runs hard. I mean, he's been doing that every week. Only problem is it's our second home game, so nobody sees us. So.
All right, thank you, Coach.
You got it.
All right, that's Coach Jerry Smith, St. Francis Red Raiders. Tom, Stu, I'll send it back to you.
So Coach Smith unhappy with what he is kind of saying a lack of poise a little bit on those personal foul penalties.
That's it, Stu. You nailed it. It's the personal foul penalties. It's the flags. It's the one thing he's going to be talking about in that thing is let's clean up the flags right now.
All right, halftime here at St. Francis. The Red Raiders lead St. Joe's 22-0. And you're watching high school football on Western New York Athletics.
Western New York Immediate Care's new locations are now open. Whether you've suffered a minor injury or just aren't feeling well, Western New York Immediate Care provides safe, quick, high-quality care at an affordable cost. Our clinicians are trained to diagnose and treat non-life-threatening injuries and illnesses and are equipped with on-site x-ray and labs to help you feel better, faster. With 4 convenient locations open 7 days a week, Western New York Immediate Care is here to help when and where you need us. Visit us online to learn more.
When it's time to sell your home, start with a visit to howardhanna.com, ranked the #1 real estate site for sellers. A few clicks will show you the sales price you can expect for your home. We can get you the most money in the quickest amount of time because we know where the local buyers are and how to reach them. So if it's time to sell your home, visit howardhanna.com today, and we'll match you with a local Howard Hanna agent to sell your home fast.
If you've been injured in an auto accident, large or small, call 681-4088. RES Physical Medicine and Rehab right away. If you are in pain or just sore, don't take chances. Call RES today and take advantage of their 24 to 48-hour appointment pledge. With no copays, RES will help navigate the confusing world of no-fault insurance with you, so you can concentrate on getting better. 681-4088. RES Physical Medicine and Rehab. The most important call you can make after an auto accident.
300 Level Media is a locally owned and operated multi-purpose media company right here in Western New York. You'll find us everywhere, covering the Bills, Sabres, Buttes, Bisons, Big Four basketball, local college sports, and much more. Our staff offers a variety of media services, from video production, live event coverage, audio broadcasts, professional voiceovers, camera operation, and videography. Visit www.300levelmedia.com or give us a call at 716-427-2600. This is 300 Level Media.
Do you insure a lot of businesses?
Yes, we do.
How about restaurants?
We got a bunch.
Do you cover property damage?
Yes, we do.
How about my equipment?
Covered.
How about sewer backup?
We got it.
What if my cook gets hurt?
They're covered.
Foodborne illnesses?
Covered.
What if my party tent goes down?
Covered under property damage.
And you say this is all under one policy?
One policy.
When do I pay?
Once a month.
Just one time?
Just one.
Is there anything you don't cover?
What's your record for consecutive questions asked?
31.
Tables. We don't do tables.
Gotta love Buffalo.
For all your insurance questions, call the Wolf at 835-WOLF.
Logistics Plus is a global transportation provider headquartered in Erie, PA, with locations worldwide, including right here in Western New York. Logistics Plus is consistently recognized as a fast-growing transportation and logistics company, great supply chain partner, top freight broker, leading project cargo manager, and a great place to work. With a strong passion for excellence, our 500-plus employees put the plus in logistics. Call our Buffalo office today for an efficient, personal approach for all of your transportation needs.
When it's time to sell your home, start with a visit to howardhanna.com. Ranked the #1 real estate site for sellers. We can get you the most money in the quickest amount of time because we know where the local buyers are and how to reach them. Get started today at howardhanna.com.
Sometimes it just isn't your day. We all need a little help from time to time. That's why we're committed to providing safe, quick, and cost-effective care. And we keep it simple. Just walk in. We're here for you. Learn more today.
Stu Boyer and Tom Prince back here at St. Francis, where the Red Raiders lead St. Joe's 22-0. And Tom, you have an explanation for that kickoff. Looks like you were right on.
So it was. They deemed it did not go 10 yards. That's what what we heard from the refs. That's what they said, and it was the only explanation that made sense to me. We said, I saw the hand go up in the air and touch it. What that hand went up and touched it, they deemed was before the 10 yards, and that's the reason for the ball going back to St. Joe. So at least we got our explanation. So.
Well, thank you to Francis Beck.
Absolutely,
for coming up
Francis.
with that.
Like I said, one of the best on the sidelines right there, no doubt about it. So.
And an interesting half in that St. Francis has been able to establish their strong ground game. They've got two outstanding running backs. St. Joe's has Deion Anderson. He's been terrific, but Terrence Pendergrass and Ricardo Kidd have been even better. And that St. Francis offensive line, as you mentioned during the game, is just blowing open holes.
Yeah, I mean, that's the strength that I talked about. It's, when I talk about, Western New York football and I do rankings or I do those different things, that's one of the first things I'm going to look at. And I'll go from class to class and I'll talk about those lines. Because are there teams that can overcome a line? Absolutely. We saw the Cincinnati Bengals do it right to go to the Super Bowl. Absolutely, teams can overcome it, right? But you've got to look day in, day out, game in and game out. If you've got a line that is consistently one of the top, you're going to be sitting at the top constantly, and you will be a tough team to beat. And that's exactly what is going on right now with this team from St. Francis, because they have not only got the line, but they got the skilled players to boot. Reska's another one, right? We want to talk about him. He would have an interception. He'd have a bunch of things going on in this game, too, if it wasn't for some of the penalties that went against St. Francis.
Well, don't forget Steve Otremba Jr. with a couple of big plays going into
100%.
the win, where a broken play, he ran for a first down, picked up the snap on the 2-point on the extra point, made it a 2-point conversion. That's why it's 22 and not 21.
Well, that one touchdown does not happen. The third touchdown for Kidd does not happen if it's not for Otremba right there, because he has a broken play, gets the first down for his team, and then he gets the 2-point conversion to be able to add on after that touchdown. It comes up big, but no doubt about it. And listen, Jens is another one who's playing real well today too, right? And you can see especially there have been some times where he's had to run for his life, and he's really come up with some big runs and doing some things with his legs where he's come up big right there. I think right now we're just waiting to see can St. Joe's put some needed points up on the board that they want to do, because they want to come out here and do something big here on the second half to make sure that it's not a 0 that's going to be put up on the board.
All right, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, Francis Beck will have St. Joe's head coach Mike Corona. It's 22-0 St. Francis over St. Joe's at halftime. You're watching high school football on Western New York Athletics.
Sometimes it just isn't your day. We all need a little help from time to time. That's why we're committed to providing safe, quick, and cost-effective care. And we keep it simple. Just walk in. We're here for you. Learn more today.
Do you insure a lot of businesses?
Yes, we do.
How about restaurants?
We got a bunch.
Do you cover property damage?
Yes, we do.
How about my equipment?
Covered.
How about sewer backup?
We got it.
What if my cook gets hurt?
They're covered.
Foodborne illnesses?
Covered.
What if my party tent goes down?
Covered under property damage.
And you say this is all under one policy?
One policy.
When do I pay?
Once a month.
Just one time?
Just one.
Is there anything you don't cover?
What's your record for consecutive questions asked?
31.
Tables. We don't do tables.
Gotta love Buffalo.
For all your insurance questions, call the Wolf at 835-WOLF.
We realize now more than ever is the perfect time to have the perfect house. We're confident we'll find your dream home. Howard Hanna. Home happens here.
Well, back here at St. Francis, the Red Raiders are back on the field, and the Marauders are slowly walking out, coming out of the Gasick Family Athletic Center here on the Polian Family Field. A lot of big names associated with St. Francis. Bill Polian, all three of his sons played football here, and now former Bills offensive coordinator Brian Daboll,
Giant head coach, baby.
And they have the same record as the Bills. They are 4-1, and he's got Daniel Jones playing much better football. Of course, it helps that Saquon Barkley is running well and healthy.
That's a big key right there.
Yeah, but he's got them believing they can win. Anyway, to this game, it's 22-0 St. Francis, and it's pretty much been all Red Raiders.
See, everyone has always said to me, like I keep quiet a little bit about the whole Giants thing, right? Because of obviously we're in Bills country, right?
Yes.
But what's funny is I can actually say it now because of Daboll and what he's got here with St. Francis, what he's got here with the Bills. So they kind of like, people are like, all right, I could go with the Giants. It's okay. So it's just great to be able to say that I am that Giants fan now.
I will tell you that I forgot what game it was. It wasn't the first one. But after the Bills game, or when the Bills weren't on, I switched over, and I'll root for Brian Daboll all the time. In fact, I would like nothing better to see the Giants beat the Dallas Cowboys, because I'm not a Cowboys fan. But good for Brian. He's been a great coach for a long time. I think he's got, what, 5 Super Bowl rings with New England and 1 national championship with Alabama. And I know you're rooting hard for him to get another one with the Giants.
Yep, no doubt about it. And so we'll see what happens right there. It looks like they're getting ready right now to get Coach Corona right here.
Right.
So once we see them get set up.
Well, it looks like the coach turned away from Francis.
I think they're just trying to get to the spot on the field.
Yeah, I think you're right. Well, hopefully we'll send it down to Francis Beck and Coach Mike Corona of St. Joe's. And I think you can see the sun has come out here. We heard from Jerry Smith just as the half ended. And now you see Francis standing at the 48-yard line. And we're pretty soon he's going to have to get off the field unless he wants to get a uniform and some pads on.
Okay. Once we see Coach Corona get right over there to Francis, we'll kick that down to him. We're just waiting him to get over there.
Once again, we don't have any first half statistics. Once in a while, we'll get some.
Yeah, it depends. Well, we're lucky enough to have guys doing the stats right next to us. But, Stu, let's get ready. They're about to go down to the field to him, okay?
All right. As soon as you give me the word. All right, go down to Francis back on the field. Take it away.
All right, I'm with Coach Corona of the St. Joe's Marauders. Coach, down 22-0 at halftime. Not the way you wanted things to go. What was your message to your guys in the locker room?
I'm not a fire and brimstone guy that doesn't do anything outside the movies. We're missing a couple key blocks. Fix that. And we're missing a couple run fits, which is also technical. We can fix that. This is the first time our guys have been down halftime in any game this year. So I'm trying to explain to them, like, if you want to be a championship team, these are the moments that you have to overcome, kind of get through. So we got to see what kind of fight they have in the second half and how they're going to grow from this. And that's kind of the point of all these games, right?
Deion Anderson's had a great first half. He's been a bright spot for you. What do you make of his performance?
He's a great running back. He's getting better at pass protection. He's getting better at getting everybody else lined up. So every week I kind of love to see his continued development and growth. And, you know, these individual games are basically quizzes as we get to the test. So we're trying to put together a marathon with all these little individual sprints, and he's really come along. I'm happy to see him.
All right, thank you, Coach. Good luck in the second half.
Thanks.
All right, Tom, Stu, I'll send it back to you.
Well, you can hear how windy it is down on the field with that. And a great answer from Coach Corona. If you want to be a championship team, these are the moments. And
let me tell you something. From the first time I interviewed him, when he came here to Buffalo, I knew this was the right man for the job. You knew it. Everything you talked about him, knew he was the right man for the job, and he's showing it. And now it's the first time you've seen where his team has got right now to come up big, and he's challenging them, right? That's how you get better, right? You get better by the competition you play and to beat some of the best that's out there. Right now, St. Francis is one of the absolute best, and he's challenged his team to go after it.
Well, you heard him say it. This is how championship teams are made. This is the first time all season that St. Joe's has been trailing at halftime. They come in with a record of 4-1. St. Francis is 4-2. And these Monsignor Martin matchups are generally outstanding. And they're great rivalries, whether it's St. Francis and Canisius or St. Francis and St. Joe's. So St. Joe's will get the ball to start the second half. And St. Francis will be kicking with the wind. The flag to our right blowing toward the St. Joe's sideline. As the Marauders will try to see what they can come up with here in the second half. Been all St. Francis so far.
We had a scoring update. The end of the third quarter, CSP right now leading Franklinville-Ellicottville 16-14.
And once again, the kickoff goes into the end zone, so it'll be a touchback, and St. Joe's will have it 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
Marauders from their own 20.
So St. Joe's getting the ball first in both halves here at St. Francis today. So we'll see if St. Joe's can mount any kind of drive that will end in points. Aaron Gents comes back onto the field with the Marauders offense. As we obviously no time came off the clock on the kickoff because there was no return. It was a touchback, and now we're set. And the handoff goes to Anderson, and he's got very little room to run.
I think he's going to lose 2 yards on it still.
Yeah, it looks like it. Yeah.
Anderson, the ball carrier.
So second down. Second down. Balam Miller, number 50 on the tackle there. Good play there. Second down for St. Joe's. And Gents will hand it off, and there's a good run by Anderson that time, and he's out to about the 26 or 27-yard line. And it looked like, Tom, he was going to have a lot more room and to run, and suddenly St. Francis closed up that gap. Robertson on the tackle.
But again, you got to get through that first level. Any coach will tell you, I'll take 4 or 5 yards a clip every single time, because guess what? I'm just going to keep moving the ball down the field, and it's going to be a first down every single time.
And even I can do 3 times 4 is 12.
There you go.
And that's a first down. Not for St. Joe's here, but the 4 yards of carry. And Gents is going to keep that one himself, and he's got a first down at about the 33 or 34-yard line.
Nice design quarterback keeper right there. You could saw he was looking to run the whole way and got to the outside very quickly. That's something when you know that you're getting penetration from the line right there. You've got to get to the outside, past those tackles as quick as possible so that you can make something happen, and he does it on that play right there.
So 1st and 10 for St. Joe's. We're just underway in the second half. 10:18 to play in the third quarter, and St. Francis leading St. Joe's 22-0. St. Joe's with the wind at their and there's another run, and not a lot to be gained there. So St. Francis has the wind. They'll be playing with the wind at their backs here in the third quarter.
Which to me, what you're going to expect to see a little bit throwing probably coming out early on in this quarter from St. Francis. But this is exactly what we should expect from St. Joe's right now, right? You got to run the ball. You have to be able to be effective to run the ball on this side of the field, because we've seen the passes just completely get knocked down by the wind.
And St. Francis demonstrated how to do it beautifully in the second quarter.
Yep.
Gents hands it off, and Anderson breaking tackles. You know, he didn't gain a lot of yards there, but it's still a great run. And he's brought down just shy of the 40-yard line, about the 38-yard line.
Great side-to-side. You see the side-to-side movement here? That he's the one who made that play happen right there, but great side-to-side movement. And then you can see when he needed to break it, it looked like that's when he just got tripped up at the ankles right there when he was looking to get to the next level on that next speed.
3rd and about 5 for St. Joe's here. First possession of the second half.
So we got a new scoring update as Franklinville-Ellicottville has now taken the lead. They're up 20-19 with 4:54 left in the game.
3rd down for the Marauders. Empty backfield. Snap is low. Gents picks it up off the ground, and he will run. And he's awfully close to a first down on the far side. Let's see if he's got it. It looks like he does. And it is a first down for St. Joe's. Good run by Gents there.
Got another scoring update as Ken West now leads 37-0 over North Tonawanda. This win will put them into the playoffs. So this is a big win right now for Kenmore West, as they should solidify a second seed in the A division, and they will absolutely now get themselves into the playoffs behind Jermaine Atkins.
Good for Kenmore West. That's exciting for them. And there's the handoff and a short run there. I don't think any yards were gained on that one.
And as we speak, Kenmore West scores again, 44-0.
Wow.
Loss of 1.
A 1-yard loss on the play for Anderson. Bring up second down. 7.5 to play in the third quarter. 22-0 St. Francis. Gents hands it off, and there's nowhere to go for Steve Hoskins. Smothered immediately. And Balaam Miller on the tackle. Another big play by Miller. At least his second of the day that I can remember. And now it's third and
Loss of 3.
after the 3-yard loss. Third and long for St. Joe's. Anderson has been tough, and every time he seems like he's about to break one, a St. Francis tackler comes up and gets him. Gents, back to pass. It's a screen. Nice catch by Anderson, and he's short of the first down. He's brought down. That might have been Javier Torres on the reception. I thought it was 1. It might have been an 11. It was a nice catch. He reached up, jumped up and caught it.
I'll tell you, this is. If I am St. Joe's, I'm going for this. Nothing more than I'm not sure that a punt is really going to gain any more different field position right here.
It's kind of dangerous. It could easily backfire. I agree with you. I would do the same thing. So it's 4th down now for the Marauders. They've got to get to, it looks like, the 46-yard line of St. Francis. And Gents has it, rolls to the left, throws on the far side, incomplete. It is caught by someone on the sidelines, but the pass is incomplete, and St. Francis will take over on downs.
I tell you, that would have been a great pass. I love the footwork there by Gents. Did you see the way he actually moved inside the pocket and then get outside to open himself up to be able to get that pass out? Great job there by Gents footwork-wise. A shame that he wasn't able to complete it.
So 1st and 10, St. Francis. And once again, this drive will start on the St. Joe's side of the field. Ball spotted at the Marauders' 47-yard line. And we'll see what St. Francis does here with the wind blowing toward the Gasick Family Athletic Center. That is the end zone that they are attacking. And there's a handoff to Kidd, who bursts straight up the middle, and he's inside the 35-yard line. Nice run there. He got through that hole in a big hurry.
That's the A-gap, right up the middle right there. When you saw that open up, he wasn't even touched through the second level right there. Great job of the offensive line and Kidd.
And Kidd will get the ball once again, going to the outside, tripped up at about the 29-yard line. Good defensive play there by Steve Hoskins. Again, he's made a number of good plays.
We've called his name absolutely multiple times on defense. He is absolutely having a great defensive game for St. Joe's right here.
2nd down for St. Francis. And there's a handoff to Kidd, to Pendergrass, and he's into the end zone for the touchdown. And there's a flag on the play, so we'll see if that's coming back.
Looks like there's some sort of hole. Yeah, Pendergrass thinks that's coming back. Did you see his reaction?
I did
no,
not.
I just ran it in. Don't do that.
It's a holding call. It's going against St. Francis, so that one will come back. A big break for St. Joe's. We'll see if they can do anything with it. And we'll see where they spot the ball.
But, boy, what a run you just
Beautiful.
saw. He really did. Once he got to that second level, it was all him. And you can see he really was going to make sure he got to the end zone. Eyes lit up. He saw it. And he was going to do everything he could to get there.
And how he dove past that last defender. He kind of spun and turned.
Penalty is 2nd down and 3.
2nd and 3 for the Red Raiders. Anybody, you want to make a little wager that Pendergrass gets the ball again?
I ain't touching that one.
Well, there's a whistle. And a false start on St. Francis. Looked like they wanted to throw the ball, which
I agree.
Shows you how much I know.
Well, but again, you would think that you were going to go ahead and run it, right? But it's because they're having so much success running the ball right now. But at the same time you've got the win. This is your opportunity. If you're going to take your shot, this is it. And I'm not going to be surprised you take your shot right here with the win right now at your back.
Otremba back to pass. He throws. It's caught. Theodore Roberts, known as Teddy, on the reception.
27, Theodore Roberts with the reception.
And we'll see where they spot the
Brings up
ball.
3rd and 2.
It's 3rd and 2 for the Red Raiders. And they're in a great spot where they are in the field, Tom, and they're having success in the air and on the ground, so they can kind of pick and choose what they want to do here. 3rd and 2 for the Red Raiders. Otremba throws, and did they call that incomplete?
Yeah,
Yes,
I think
they
it
did.
was. I think it got tipped there by Dorian Buckley, who did a good job of getting himself into the backfield.
So it's 4th and 2 now for St. Francis. The Red Raiders come to the line of scrimmage rather quickly. And there's the handoff, and barely the flags come flying. So whoever's ever in the middle of that pile, I think that was Kidd.
It was Kidd. I'm not sure he got the first down.
I don't think so. But and the flags, well, St. Francis is clapping. They think it's a face mask. It is a face mask against St. Joe's. So a bad break for the Marauders and a huge break for St. Francis. And the fans are telling you what St. Joe's cannot do. So it's 1st and 10 now, or still, well, it still says 2nd down. Trembo and hands it off. Good run there, short gain maybe. And finally the first down goes up on the first down marker. Killian Vargas on the tackle for St. Joe's. 2nd down. I don't see a scoreboard here where I could tell you down in the exact distance. I mean, I see a scoreboard right in front of us, but they don't post it down in distance.
It looks like it's about 2nd down and 7 is what it's going to be.
Well, I'm going to rely on your keen eyesight, along with your keen instinct. St. Francis takes a timeout. We're going to take a timeout. 3:27 to play, 3rd quarter. St. Francis 22, St. Joe's nothing. You're watching high school football on Western New York Athletics.
Western New York Immediate Care's new locations are now open. Whether you've suffered a minor injury or just aren't feeling well, Western New York Immediate Care provides safe, quick, high-quality care at an affordable cost. Our clinicians are trained to diagnose and treat non-life-threatening injuries and illnesses and are equipped with on-site x-ray and labs to help you feel better, faster. With 4 convenient locations open 7 days a week, Western New York Immediate Care is here to help when and where you need us. Visit us online to learn more.
Logistics Plus is a global transportation provider headquartered in Erie, PA with locations worldwide, including right here in Western New York. Logistics Plus is consistently recognized as a fast-growing transportation and logistics company, great supply chain partner, top freight broker, leading project.
2nd down and 8 for the Red Raiders here. They're looking to add to that 22-0 lead. Otremba to pass. He throws incomplete. A little too long for Logan Reska. And it'll be 3rd and 2.
So we just got a scoring update too, right? Syracuse up 7-0 over NC State. I was watching the college game day this morning. Everybody picked Syracuse to win this game, said the dome was going to be the difference in this game. Only one didn't. It was Pat McAfee, their new host there on college game day, who went with NC State.
Oh, hopefully he's wrong. And there's a handoff to Pendergrass, and there's no room to run there. St. Joe's kind of threw him around like a rag doll there. Killian Vargas and Christopher Williams in on the tackle. And it's 4th down for St. Francis.
Loss of a couple brings up 4th down.
This is, obviously they could kick field goals, but it looks like they're going to go for this. And you got to expect a throw here, especially with that wind still at your back.
Otremba takes the shotgun snap, back to pass, throws, incomplete. Little low. There's no way Reska could have come up with that one. Javier Torres on the defense, but Reska couldn't. There was no way he could have made that.
No way. And it was too low. And even him coming back to the ball still dropped before his feet. That would have had to have been an incredible catch to be able to come back for that one. I'll tell you, I did see an incredible catch last night. Unbelievable in the Orchard Park Lancaster game. Literally right in front of me. The pass went out to Dylan Evans. The defender for Lancaster actually gets a hand on it, tips it, and then it goes to Dylan Evans, and he pins it into the back of his helmet right there, and then brings it forward to his hands as he's still running on the play to be able to make an incredible catch. I even put it out on social media. Check it out. But I even tagged Anila. I said, we got our own helmet catch going on right now.
I retweeted and liked your tweet. A short run, no gain there for St. Joe's. Very much like the David Tyree catch in the Super Bowl. Huge play there.
Especially if you see all of Eli's commercials right now, right? They're always joke about, all you do is talk about is the catch, the helmet catch, right? So I thought it was apropos that I had to put it out there and tag him into it. So
it was a great catch. Great play by Dylan Evans.
And that game, to allude to it a little bit, is where the stars really came out, right? Micah Harry leads the way for Lancaster. You saw swing pass out to him where he goes for, it was about 50 yards in that one. Runs for a 40-yard touchdown, was unbelievable.
Jens, low snap, picks it up, now runs on the far side, and a flag comes flying, 2 flags. There's nowhere to run there. Now that, I don't want to speculate. I can't really see over there, but generally that's either a face mask or unsportsmanlike conduct, or it could be a hold too. But I'm thinking it's one of the others. At halftime, Jerry Smith was not happy with a couple of unsportsmanlike conduct penalties. He wasn't happy with his team, and the officials are huddling on the far side, and the St. Francis fans not too thrilled. Personal foul.
Face mask.
Face mask against St. Francis, and that'll move the ball forward.
So we talk about good seats in the house, right?
Yeah.
Still, right? And there's not a bad seat here. But I want you to look out to the distance to the baseball field out there.
Yep.
There is one gentleman sitting out in his own chair out there who has got the whole side to himself, and I'll tell you, nobody's bothering him out there.
I had no idea Bob Euchre came to high school football games.
He literally is out in his own chair, almost in the baseball field. It is awesome to see. He's just going, hey, man, I'm comfortable. This is great.
And they hand the ball off to Anderson, and St. Francis is not going to let him get anywhere as the bodies pile up to make the tackle. It'll be second down for the Red Raiders.
I'd rather play Mario Kart.
Well, at least our microphones aren't picking up what happened on the Sabres game the other night. I don't know if you saw that or not.
I didn't. Everybody, I think, in Western New York knows I'm not a big hockey guy. So.
Well, let's just say there was some extremely colorful language that was picked up early in the game where everybody in my house stopped and looked at each other and said, did he really say what I think he said?
Oh, no.
It was part of the NAD sound. One player was chirping at another.
I have a score update for everybody when we come back.
Less than a minute to play here in the quarter. Second down for St. Joe's. And they'll hand it off. And once again, there's not a lot of room to run. A short gain there. And it'll bring up third down. Anderson once again on the carry. And the scoring update.
CSP has come back and won the game. They won 22-20 over Franklinville-Ellicottville. Bryce Hinsdale with a 15-yard field goal at the buzzer. He has 2 field goals in this one. He had a 35-1 earlier as he comes up big right there to lead the CSP team.
Wow.
3rd and 10.
3rd and 10 for St. Joe's. And it looks like everybody's walking to the sidelines. That'll do it for the third quarter. After 3 quarters in St. Francis, the Red Raiders. We're going to go down to Francis Beck on the sidelines, are we? All right, Francis, take it away.
Tom, Stu, we're going to talk about St. Joe's running back, Deion Anderson. You saw him take a lot of carries. He's one of the very important players for this team. Coming up this week in our issue of the Western New York Athletics Football Report, Adam Gorski talked to Coach Crone about him. Here's a few things that Adam passed along to me. Corona says that that Anderson has actually had to take on a couple more roles this year because of injuries, playing defense, playing special teams. But he says that Anderson is a coach on the field, and hopefully he's kind of player that, I know you guys have talked about already in the broadcast. Corona's starting to turn this program around, and hopefully Deion Anderson's one of those catalysts that's his legacy. He's helping with the turnaround. So you'll be able to see that coming this Wednesday in the Western New York Athletics Football Report. We also have a story coming up on a St. Francis lineman as well. Stu, Tom, I'll send it back to you.
So we get set for the fourth quarter here with St. Francis leading 22-0, and some great insight from Francis into a number of things today.
I wonder who the St. Francis lineman is going to be.
I won't venture a guess.
I will. We all know it's. Yeah. I'd be shocked if it wasn't, Harrison right there. He's just getting some fantastic looks right now and really getting noticed, not only here in Western New York, but getting noticed outside of Western New York.
So third down for the Marauders, as they are now they have the wind with them. Back to pass, Jantz, and down he goes. He had no chance. He stepped up in the pocket, and down he went. And that'll bring up fourth down. Gonzalez, 59, for St. Francis making that tackle. Slade Gonzalez. We've called a whole bunch of different names on those plays for both teams throughout the game.
Which just shows it's a team, right? It's not. This is a team defense. And when you see somebody who right now has got a 0 up on the board, right, that's the entire defense. That's not one guy coming out here. That's the entire defense making an impact.
Logan Reska, and we've got a flag. Let's see which way they call that. Is it offside St. Francis or a false start?
I think that's offside St. Francis.
Yeah, I think so too, and it is. That'll give St. Joe's another 5 yards to work with. Well, they had Logan Reska back to return the punt, but now it's E. Lawrence Ryan. And E. Lawrence Ryan goes back to about his own 38-yard line. And we'll see what Jantz does here. And he will kick it. And let's see, Ryan catches. Oh, no, it hit off his hands, but he gets a good bounce, picks it up, comes to the near side, 35, 40, 45, 50, and still on his feet and finally brought down inside the St. Joe's 40-yard line. What a great return by E. Lawrence Ryan. And I don't see any flags, Tom, so that will stand.
Talk about turning a negative into a positive right there, right? That's exactly what happens as he really, and you see him directing traffic. He actually comes around the corner right there and starts directing traffic to be able to try to get the blocks he was looking for.
You know, the ball, it looked like it hit his fingers, and he got a great bounce. He turned, and the ball bounced. You know, usually you don't see those kind of bounce from a football, basketball maybe, but not from a football. So St. Francis has the ball. They're inside the St. Joe's.
I think we got a player down where we can't see right now because of the St. Francis players. There is a player down. Looks like it's a St. Joe's player. Hopefully it's just some cramping right there as we see him trying to tend down to the lower legs right there. Hopefully it's just a cramping issue.
All right. Well, hopefully the player is okay. And for the moment, we'll step aside with St. Francis leading 22-0 with 10:36 to play in the fourth quarter. You're watching high school football on Western New York Athletics.
Sometimes it just isn't your day. We all need a little help from time to time. That's why we're committed to providing safe, quick, and cost-effective care. And we keep it simple. Just walk in. We're here for you. Learn more today.
Do you insure a lot of businesses?
Yes, we do.
How about restaurants?
We got a bunch.
Do you cover property damage?
Yes, we do.
How about my equipment?
Covered.
How about sewer backup?
We got it.
What if my cook gets hurt?
They're covered.
Foodborne illnesses?
Covered.
What if my party tent goes down?
Covered under property damage.
And you say this is all under one policy?
One policy.
When do I pay?
Once a month.
Just one time?
Just one.
Is there anything you don't cover?
What's your record for consecutive questions asked?
31.
Tables. We don't do tables.
Larique Livingston was the player down for St. Joe's. He was able to walk off the field, limped a little bit at the beginning, but now appears to be okay. 1st and 10 for the Red Raiders. And there's the handoff and a short run. Looks like we have a quarterback change. Keanu Longa took that snap. So maybe Steve Otremba's junior day is done.
Kid with the carry.
So it was Kid on the carry. Not a lot of room to run there. Ulanga at quarterback. Under center this time. And he'll hand it off to Kidd, and Kidd breaks a couple of tackles, gets the first down, and is finally brought down inside the 30 by, once again, Steve Hoskins. It's a first down for St. Francis.
He literally shifted in the hole there. Did you see that shift? He shifts to the left towards the St. Joe's sideline and then makes the move upfield. Boy, what a great job. Great run there. Kidd makes that happen on that one. All Kidd.
Ulanga under center. Takes the snap, hands it to Kidd. This time he comes to the near side. He's got running room. There's the last block he needs. Touchdown, Kidd. And there's a flag on the play.
There's about 4 flags out there on this one.
I have a feeling that might be coming back. Let's see. Judging by the St. Francis players' reaction, that one's coming back. If that's the case, it'll mean Pendergrass and Kidd have each lost a touchdown to penalties.
Yeah. And they didn't score on the one, right? At least Kidd on the other ones that they had scored on.
Yeah, and that's holding against St. Francis. Well, that was unfortunate. That was another really nice run.
Yeah. I'll tell you right now, I think that's going to be where you're going to see Coach say, listen, this is the one thing that has been the negative for him in this game. And not only flags as far as personal fouls, right? It's a lot of these holding and these different things that have brought plays back, especially their big plays, that he's going to absolutely say we need to clean up as we get into the Monsignor Martin run.
2 touchdowns and a Logan Reska interception called back by penalties. And Ulanga and hands it off to Pendergrass, and it wasn't a clean handoff. Didn't look like it. Play didn't move as quickly as you would like it to see. It's a short gain there.
It's almost like Ulanga was going to wait to see if he was going to actually keep it and take off with it, and then ended up handing it off. It almost wait to see as it was almost, do I keep it, or am I going to hand it off? And it was just held a little bit longer than I think both would have liked.
2nd down and 16 for the Red Raiders. Longa, and I believe that's Pendergrass, and it looked like there was some confusion again. Henry Murphy making the defensive play. And by the way, Bob Euchre has left the field. If you look out over there, the man in the red jacket.
He had the best seat in the house right there and left it.
Yeah, I know.
That was funny, though.
It was.
Because he wasn't out there for a while, right?
No.
Because I've been seeing it clear out there, and all of a sudden I see the guys sitting out there.
3rd down for the Red Raiders. I don't think Keanu Longa has attempted to pass yet at least in this game.
3rd down in a bunch.
3rd and long for the Red Raiders. Coming up on the 8-minute mark in the game. Ulanga fakes the pitch, keeps it himself, comes to the near side, breaks a tackle, down the sideline, and brought down out of bounds at about the 26-yard line. Javier Torres on the tackle. Nice run by Ulanga.
As he's going to get back to the original line of scrimmage right there. Actually, even gain a yard from there.
It'll be 4th down.
Gain of about 10.
About a 10-yard run. Nice run by Keanu Longa.
Quick scoring update coming from Kenmore West. It's actually homecoming for them as Kenmore West leads 51-8 over North Tonawanda with 2:57 left to finish that one out.
Now that's how you do it on homecoming, don't you think?
That's how you're going to celebrate that night, right? With a nice dance. Nice dance and a win.
Ulanga. He's going to keep it himself again. He's got some running room. He's got a first down and then some. And he's brought down inside the 15-yard line. So St. Francis has another young man who can run the football.
He is emphatic with that, like he's going to pitch, right? It really is seem like he's going to pitch. He does a great fake right there, as he is really aggressive and hard with that fake.
I'll admit, I thought he was going to.
A couple times, you could just see how aggressive it is that you really have to respect it.
And that time he'll hand it off, and spinning and being shoved back after a short gain is, I believe that's Pendergrass, and it is. Bring up second down, and that clock continues to tick as we come up on the 7-minute mark here, with St. Francis has not scored in the second half. It's 22-0 at halftime. Second and 11, so it was a 1-yard loss that time.
The wind getting even more aggressive. We can see the trees right now bending right now sideways straight in front of us, as it's blowing hard out there.
Second and 11 for the Red Raiders. Ulanga, he's going to keep it himself, and he's got some running room, and he's brought down close to the 5-yard line. And once again, Tom, like you mentioned, directing traffic, making moves, Luke Ventresca on the tackle. Hey, you know, speaking of that wind, before the game started, I looked behind us to see the waves on Lake Erie. There's something special about seeing big waves.
I agree. Just seeing those white caps come across, I agree with you, Stu. It's
Russ Pataglia said he was driving out here, and the waves are going over the breakwater.
I believe it.
Me
Today,
too.
I believe it.
Me too. And Ulanga, and it's Kidd. And he's stopped short of the goal line. It'll bring up fourth down. Well, St. Francis done a great job of killing clock here, as we're under 6 minutes to play.
Now, Stu, they can get a first down here. They do not need the touchdown. They can get a first down without the touchdown right here.
Looks like the nose of the ball is right at the 5-yard line. This has been Ulanga's drive, his first action today, replacing Otremba Jr. Oh, the snap high. Nice catch by Ulanga. And someone grabs his jersey. He spins away, and then he's finally brought down by a host of tacklers. Dorian Buckley in making that play, and the Red Raiders will turn it over on down. So the Marauders with a good stand there to get the ball back. And St. Joe's will have the ball deep in their end of the field, looking for their first points of the day. But if you look at it, maybe Coach Corona is looking at it like it's 0-0 in the second half.
Yeah, there's a lot of positives St. Joe's can take out of this game. I really believe that, including their running back Deion Anderson, right? But I also believe that Jens has had a great game himself too, especially when he's had to use his legs to make things happen right here. You know, a tough day to pass on both teams, and flip on the same side on St. Francis. There's a lot of things he knows he can clean up and get that team even better.
Nowhere to go there. St. Francis sniffs that one out. No gain. Hoskins has also had an outstanding game for St. Joe's.
100% agree with that one right there. And Pendergrass and Kidd for St. Francis, right?
Yes.
And the line for St. Francis. That line really has done a fantastic job today. And there's like we said, positives for both sides to build off of. What you're trying to get ready to do is run to the playoffs and go after a Monsignor Martin crown.
We're under 5 minutes to play here in the game. Jens takes that shotgun snap, and he's brought down almost immediately. I'm not sure who got there, but somebody was in there quickly. It was almost like they knew the snap count. Miller. Balaam Miller, and there's another name we've called three or four times. He was quick on that one. They spot the ball right at the 5, but sure seemed like it was closer to the goal line.
Yeah, they went by absolutely what his momentum was, where it stopped. So that's the reason why it wasn't as bad, especially when you spin and throw somebody backwards, right?
Is that Christian Smith, number 12, a quarterback for St. Joe's now? Well, there's a handoff, and there's nowhere to go there. I think that's Smith, the quarterback for St. Joe's. And it looks like St. Francis recovers as St. Joe's fumble. So it'll be first and goal for St. Francis.
Defense comes up a big again, right? St. Francis's defense has just been really tough today. They have done everything right from a defensive standpoint.
Schedule question for you. You and I did the Canisius-Lancaster game. Has Canisius played St. Francis yet?
No.
Is that next week?
No. We'll get you the updates on the schedule right here for you.
2 weeks, they say here. 2 weeks, Tom. Well, that should be.
Is next week McDowell, guys? Yeah, McDowell, right?
It is Canisius next week. Oh, I thought you said 2 weeks. Oh, my bad. Well, anyway, what a matchup that will be. Canisius and St. Francis. First and goal for the Red Raiders. Ulonga takes the shotgun snap, fakes the handoff, runs to the left, into the end zone for the touchdown. Keon Ulonga. And there's flags on the play. Well, let's see if that's going to stand or maybe it's for celebration afterward. Nice play by Ulonga to holding against St. Francis. That one's coming back. Well, that's the third touchdown that St. Francis has lost to penalties today, and they also lost an interception, or whatever that's worth. Nice run by Ulonga, though. He faked it to the right and ran left.
Okay, so right now, this week, St. Joe's. Yes, next week, Canisius. It is a 2 p.m. game on Saturday. Then the week after is Friday to finish it off against McDowell.
So is that St. Francis home again next week?
No, both games are away. So Canisius away, McDowell away.
Oh, St. Francis at Canisius then. Okay. So that would be an afternoon game. No lights, right, at Stransky?
Correct, which is why you're talking about an afternoon game. Flip, let's go to Canisius' schedule. Canisius will go St. Francis, then Cathedral Prep, who we got a chance to see right here when St. Francis defeated Cathedral Prep.
First and 10, St. Joe's.
And I'm going to get St. Joe's for everybody right here, too.
Excuse me, it's still St. Francis ball, my bad.
St. Joe's will see a varsity opponent for next Saturday, and then Bishop Timon to finish things off on the following Friday. So you can see that's their schedule, the 3 games right there. So
Longa, he'll hand that one off in very little yardage there, as Kidd and Pendergrass are both on the sidelines. Is that Brandon Drummond, number 24? Brandon Drummond on the carry there. And that'll bring up second down. Well, it's been kind of a dominant performance by St. Francis.
especially the defense.
Yes.
That's where you'd probably say the dominant performance really comes in.
Second down. Ulonga hands it off and bursting through there and into the end zone for, did he get there? Yeah, the ball came out and it looks like it's a touchback for St. Joe's. I don't know when or where that ball came out, but it looks like it's St. Joe's ball. Robert Kendall Jr.
So I thought it was who ran the ball was 8 right there who ran that ball.
Well, that was a great run until the ball came out. I didn't see how it came out, or I thought he had actually crossed the goal line, but I didn't see any touchdown signal, and then the ball was out, and it's St. Joe's ball. So if you want to look at it, that's 4 touchdowns that St. Francis has cost themselves. I'm sure Coach Smith will not be happy about that. On the flip side, Keon Ulonga has played well when he took over for Steve Otremba Jr. He's quick.
And obviously they were going to the run, right?
Yes.
Especially going into the wind the way they were.
And there's a handoff, and not my Christian Smith, I believe, is in at quarterback, number 12. Excuse me, that's Daniel Muchika, number 12. Is that right for St. Joe's? I think it's 12, or is it 19?
No, I think it's actually, I think it's 18. It's 18 or 19. He hasn't turned the weight for me to see it.
All right. Well, 18 is Ryan Musica, and 19 is Luke Ventresca.
It's 18.
18, so that would be Musica. Muchika, excuse me. Second down here for St. Joe's. Marauders still looking for their first points. There's a handoff, and there's nowhere to run. No, just no room at all. Looks like that was
19, Luke Ventresca with the carry.
Luke Ventresca on the carry. And it's third down as we're in the final 2 minutes, coming up on a minute and a half remaining in the fourth quarter.
Brings up third down.
Third down for St. Joe's. And we'll see what they can come up with here. And it's a handoff to Ventresca, and there's nowhere to run. I think was that a flag that came out on the far side? We'll see. No flags. So it's fourth down now as we're into the final minute of play here in the fourth quarter. This one all St. Francis. Red Raiders lead it 22-0. It's the same lead they had at halftime.
Loss on the play brings up fourth down.
Fourth down. The penalties have cost St. Francis a number of touchdowns. And you hear some fans singing the goodbye song. It's a short, high punt. It'll bounce at about the 38, take a St. Joe's roll, and it will be down all the way back at about the St. Francis 45-yard line. And I'm going to take a wild guess here, Tom. They'll go into victory formation and kneel down and end the game.
That's exactly what I would think right there.
Are we going to go down to Francis at the end of this one?
No, he'll do that on afterwards.
All right. Well, I want to thank Francis Beck, Russ Battaglia on camera up here, Mario Hall down on the field, and Heidi Gunther sitting next to Tom and me here in the broadcast booth at St. Francis. And an impressive performance by the Red Raiders.
So I just sent down to Francis. We got to see why Slade Gonzalez is wearing that WWE Championship belt right there. That's the guy I think we got to be talking to post game right there. And Francis is talking to him right now, saying, "Hey, what's up with the belt right here?" See if they grab him for some of the post game.
Well, there's the kneel down. That will do it. The final score is St. Francis 22, St. Joe's nothing. For Tom Prince, I'm Stu Boyer. Have a good night, everybody.
Life can be full of surprises, but not always the good kind. That's why we're committed to providing safe, quick, and cost-effective care, and we keep it simple. Just walk in. We're here for you. Learn more today.
There's nothing better than owning the perfect house to come home to. You've earned it, and we'll make it happen. Our local real estate experts and in-house team of financial professionals make buying or selling your home simple. Howard Hanna. Home happens here.